Before we start the meeting, I just wanted to say a few words. The first really was how incredibly sorry we all were to hear of passing of Vince Hill. He was a real true gent and an outstanding performer, and we all as councillors, as a council, worked with him. He worked with us, and we were all very saddened to hear of this, and we send our thoughts and our prayers to his family. And from the town council, we would just like to say thank you for everything he did. He was a great man, and we're all very sad. While I'm on the subject of commiserations, the council were very, very sad to hear of the passing of David Sylvester. He was a former town councillor. He worked very hard for Henley, and he was respected by very many people. And again, we would like to extend our commiserations to David's family, and our thoughts and our prayers go to them. So, thank you very much. Let's start. Can I welcome you all to the full council, Tuesday the 25th of July. Welcome councillors, officers, and partners of Christ. Any member of the let's start with agenda number one, apologies for absence. And
we have apologies for the councillors Buckley, Eggleton, Kandaya, and Thomas.
Okay, thank you very much. Item 2 on the agenda is declarations of interest. Do you have any? I see none. Item 3 on the agenda is public participation. This is when you guys can ask any question you would like. And what we will do is we will note the question and we will get back to you. We won't have a full blown discussion about this. Can I have your name, please, sir?
Yeah, Pete Cooper from Loop Avenue.
Pete Cooper.
At the last full council meeting, Kenall made a rather disgusting comment to saying that Sloan did papers.
I think that's personal, Pete. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just like to ask, whoever did the investigation, why did they not come and speak to people around it?
Pete, sorry. Pete, this is the second time I personally have felt you've been very disruptive in this.
Really, I'm just asking.
No, this is personal.
No,
these people know what we invite you to come to this council to discuss Henley matters.
Council at all, actually.
No, he's district councillor.
Yeah, which isn't right council. Go to the district.
Okay, sorry, Pete, please. If you're going to be personal, otherwise I will have to.
No, that's okay.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else that would like to say anything? Lorraine.
Thank you, Lorraine Hillier, Reading Road. I'd just like to say thank you for the mention tonight for both Vince Hill and Councillor Sylvester. And I did write in about a minute silence, and I recognise for the present we don't have a policy on minute silence. And I think it's something we should, as a mark of respect for former councillors and councillors present around the table should misfortune happen. And I just I noted that other councillors do have this in place, and I think it would be a nice mark of respect. But thank you for mentioning more this evening.
That's a pleasure. Thank you very much. And there is a policy being written.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that would like to?
Alicia Makins Road. On behalf of the Henley Society, I should like to ask the district councillors about what is happening about the lack of a designated ladies' toilet in Kings Road car park. SODC have alleged that there is no requirement for this, but last month's full council meeting supported the attendees' view, and also expressed by some of our own members, that such a requirement does exist, particularly among senior residents and tourists. What is SODC proposing to do about it, and where is the dignity
That's right. Councillor, that will answer that.
Thank you, Valerie, for that thing. And as we said at the last council meeting, we immediately raised it with the district council. And in fact, the signs are being ordered. The signs have been ordered and they will be delivered in the next few days and they will be screwed to the appropriate cubicle. So therefore there will be a change from multi-use to a female only toilet. So that is being done. So another success for the district council and us. Thank you, Valerie, for raising it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing so.
Thank you. Are there any other questions on the audience? No, that's right. Okay. Item 4 on the agenda are the minutes, and can I ask, I think Councillor Plant to read the minutes for the planning. Oh, sorry.
You lead the way. As I'm furiously scrolling.
I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. Item 4, to approve the minutes of the full council meeting held on 13th of June. Do I have a proposer? Do I have a seconder? Thank you. And all in favour? That's carried. Thank you. And to also approve the minutes of the special full council held on the 20th of June. Proposer, seconder. Thank you. All in favour? And now. Proposal committees, can I ask Councillor Plant to receive the minutes of the planning committee held on the 20th of June, and we should be in some together.
Page 11, I'd like to move the minutes of the meeting of the planning committee held at 7:15 PM on Tuesday, the 20th of June. 39, apologies for absence, 40 declarations of interest, 41 minutes, 42 public participation, 43 variation to order of business, 44 climate emergency 2030 working group, the terms of reference election of chair and vice chair for climate emergency 2030 working group, 46 plans, 47 plans new, 48 objections and call-in applications, 49 decision notices, 50 withdrawn planning applications, 51 certificate of lawful development applications, 52 pedestrian crossings in Henley, and 53 progress reports for applications called in. Do so move.
Thank you very much. All those in favour? And before you sit down, could I also approve the minutes of the meeting, planning committee on the 11th of July?
Yep, 11th of July, 7:30 PM, 54 apologies for absence, 55 declarations of interest, 56 minutes, 57 public participation, 58 membership of neighbourhood planning committee, 59 membership of transport strategy group, 60 plans, 61 plans new, 62 objections and call-in applications, 63 decision notices, 64 Southland Vale Air Quality Action Plan, 65 progress report and applications called in. I do so.
Thank you very much. All those in favour? Thank you. And I now ask Councillor Hinton to read the minutes of the recreation amenities.
Okay, these are the minutes of the Recreation and Amenities Committee held on Tuesday, the 20th of June. Item 11, apologies for absence, 12 declaration of interest, 13 public participation, 14 minutes, 15 appointment of subcommittees, their terms of reference and membership of, 16 progress, 17 finances, 18 Mill Meadows ladder for swimming, 19 lighting of the leading place system. Nice. So
Very much. All in favour? Thank you. Can I now call on Councillor Hoskins to read the minutes of the Town and Community Committee meeting?
Thank you. The minutes of the meeting of the Town and Community Committee held at 7 PM on Tuesday, the 4th of July 23. Item 19, apologies for absence, 20 declarations of interest, 21 public participation, 22 minutes, 23 police, 24, appointment of events subcommittees, their reference and membership. 25, election of chair for event subcommittees. 26, election of vice chair for subcommittees and events. 27, communication manager update. 28, town centre manager update. 29, finances. 30, CCTV. 31, progress. And I so move this.
That's great. Thank you very much. All in favour? And finally, class council writing three minutes of meeting of the finance strategy and.
I'd like to present, so I'd like to move the minutes of the meeting of the Finance Strategy Management Committee held on the 4th of July 2023. Item 14, apologies. Item 15, declarations of interest. Item 16, public participation. Item 17, minutes. Item 18, finance. Item 19, expenditure. Item 20, reserves policy. Item 21, exclusion of public and press. Item 22, legal updates. I so move.
All those in favour? Mark. Include report committees. Item 6 on your agenda is the report of other authorities, reports from district and county councillors. I don't believe there were any questions emailed. Do you want to speak on that or you haven't just? Okay. Okay, we shall, no, Ken? No, okay. Right, we shall move on. To item 8. Item 7, sorry, reports on outside bodies. Receive reports from members representing the council on outside bodies. Do we have anybody that would like to speak on anything on this? I would like to say one thing, it isn't outside bodies, is it?
Yeah.
I would like to say what a fantastic picnic we had at the Haystack, Gilletsfield. We had probably about 20 Slovenian dancers came over, their mayor and their ex-mayor, I think it was Istok and Yanis. And we had a picnic around the Haystack, and it was a really fantastic afternoon. I know there was a few councillors, ex-mayors attended. I know Councillor gathered that wine and dined, a few of them over the weekend. Thank you very much for that. I couldn't do it, unfortunately. But no, like all of our twinning towns, it's really important to forge these relationships, and we've got a great relationship with them. And I'm just looking forward to getting over there one day. But anyway, that was lovely. It was a very, very nice afternoon. So, and that's all I'll say. Okay, item 8 is my civic engagement, so that's on page 39. And it's been busy. It's been it has been very busy, but it's been fun. And I think the engagement that are purple, I think my councillor attended on my behalf. So yes, so
I just like, how's the elbow after all those medals?
the elbow.
The Henley Super and Henley Triathlon in one day. That's a lot of medals.
Nobody to mention that the triathlon would be about 800.
And it rained.
And it rained. And then when I came back, I literally had a time for a cup of tea and to dry my hair.
Yeah.
And then I'm back down to the Angel on the Bridge for the club to pub. And
That's
I
quite
think
good.
it was 500.
Yeah, that was a lot.
So my hand was so numb the next day. No, it was lovely. And it's all good fun and great events, fantastic events.
And next
So,
year, Madam Mayor, you're taking part in both of them.
I thought
Yeah.
But I've asked if you could all take that. Okay. Moving on to item 9 is the scheme of delegation, and there were just a couple of amendments.
Yeah, I'd like to propose that we review and approve the scheme delegation as on page 41 of the agenda. There's just one change on of significance where the delegated powers of the planning committee are updated so that they can use their delegated powers by a simple majority, which is needed in order to make sure that the planning, the town council's views on planning are submitted to the district council in a timely way and don't have to go to full council. And that change is to section 4.6.
Page 53.
Page 53, and then there is some minor renumbering. This is just a bit of tightening up really the original restrictions on the scheme on the delegated powers shouldn't have been restricted that way to the planning committee. So I certainly.
Okay, thank you very much. So, are we all happy to approve the amendments to the, sorry?
Yeah, I was going to second it.
Okay, fantastic. In that case, all happy? Thank you very much. Item 10 on the agenda is expenditure, and we'll go through these separately, and that's to approve the following items of expenditure. A is up to £15,000 for pedestrian crossing design work in Sill. And there should be a copy of the report attached. I think Stefan and Councillor Gavin would like to speak on this.
We'll be taking these separately in the vote. So A is on, the resolution is on page 67. This was fully discussed at finance. In the scheme, there is a suggestion that there is a crossing near Rupert House School on Bell Street at the end of this road, Kings Road, a platform, and a possible location down the Fair Mile as well. But the idea is that we do the design work for this. It's not to spend the money digging up the roads and installing the pedestrian crossing. It's just to do the design work in anticipation of that. And there were two other points that were raised at finance by Councillor Plant and also Councillor Arlott is on my case that I try and make sure that we secure from the district council and also from the county council sufficient funds to make a contribution towards these schemes as well, because they should be contributed from still and section 106 funds. So I have sent the emails already and I will keep you up to date. But this is just page 67, recommendation to approve the allocation of £15,000 for the design work, and that will be under the tutelage of Kath Adams, the Deputy Town Clerk. She will be shepherding this process forward. So I recommend this recommendation. Thank you.
Councillor Plant.
No, I'd like to second both of those. Thank you to Councillor Gavin for his hard work. It's laborious for us to ask you to constantly pester for extra funds, but thank you very much for doing so and look forward to them being put in place.
So the proposal for second, all those in favour? Thank you very much. Okay, item 10B on the expenditure is up to 55,000 from capital expenditure for new Christmas lighting. Councillor Henry, do you want to speak on this?
Okay, so Christmas lights have come up every year because art is subjective, lights are subjective, and people really do love to know.
And Christmas.
Even at Christmas. But every year, we put up some sort of display and it's a little bit piecemeal and part of it, we've had lots of problems. The report speaks for itself. It shows you what problems have been, it shows you what's been done about it, it shows you the companies that have been seeing why we need them. What it doesn't do is show you lots of the design detail because as I said before, that's subjective. There's some things we know for sure. Particularly that in Henley, they like classic white lighting and not blue lights. That can be something that's come up a few times and was in the back of my mind in the meeting constantly. And they like classic over tacky, so nobody wants Blackpool illumination. So I think we saw that with bridge debate as well. So I think that these considerations were taken into account quite greatly. I don't know if Sheridan was going to speak to the report as well because he wrote it. But if not, I could, the resolution has slightly changed, so I'll do that now or I'll wait and do it afterwards if you prefer.
Certainly, all I was going to say was that that the specification, as councillor Hinton has said, is quite subjective. So the recommendation in front of council is the recommendation of myself, the council manager, and councillor Hinton. However, it may well be that the personal views of other councillors on the aesthetic is different, and I would say that is absolutely fine. The main thing for the meeting this evening is to approve the expenditure. The finer detail on the specification that can all be worked out following the meeting in consultation with councillors.
Does anybody else wish to speak? Councillor Farmer.
Yeah, we came under a lot of flack for this year. I think the report is fantastic. I think it's something we should all get behind and put on the best possible display, get the shopkeepers behind, and thank you to both for putting it together.
Fantastic. Councillor Rosen.
I'm going to support the proposal. I just wanted to emphasise that, yes, we want this next year's to be better. We want them to be suitable for Henley, but we don't regard it as the final word. This is going to be phase one, and we will continue to improve and develop the Christmas lights that we have in the town, so they continue to look better and better. There's always scope to improve things. We'll listen to the aspects of the decorations we get this year, listen to what people have to say about them, and we'll add to them as with further proposals and further expenditure in order to make sure the town is as we want it to look over Christmas.
Right.
Okay, so the other thing that I'd like to point out is that although this seems like a lot of money, because it is a lot of money, the aim is to also increase our sponsorship of things like the Christmas festival. And this is essential to do, not just to raise spirits at Christmas time or get more people in our shops, but also to get people to spend more money with us if we can do more of this.
Absolutely.
So the recommendation has slightly changed from that is on the paper, and I'll read on page 72, and I'll read that out. But I just would like to say, although final specifications should be made available to all councillors, you know, we do have a committee, standing committee chair and vice chair who have that responsibility along with the town clerk, and I as a councillor am quite happy to place my trust in them because that's what I voted for them to do. So I think by making this proposal that I'm about to make, I am by no means inviting the rest of you to hold up and delay this with lots of suggestions and comments unnecessarily. Please. Thank you very much. So the recommendation is, it is recommended that the council resolves that up to £55,000 be allocated from capital expenditure for festive lighting. The specification and costs to be approved by the town clerk in consultation with the chair and vice chair of the events subcommittee, and with final specifications to be made available to all councillors. I actually thought that was by the town community committee, otherwise I wouldn't have said that about myself. So, that's now slightly awkward. Trust me, please. I thought we were trusting Glenn and Tony. I apologise.
Right, so we've got a recommendation from councillor Hinton, we've got a second from councillor Plant, all in favour. Roll on Christmas.
Really thought that was Glenn
And finally, item 10C, and that is an increase in capital expenditure for the installation of air source heat pumps at the Right Wingham, never say that, Right Wingham Pavilion. Would anyone like to speak on this?
We do also have
Yes, so we did at last full council make an initial proposal, but we've since, with the help of the officers, we've investigated further, and we have revised recommendation here. So, but again, it's slightly reworded from that's on the agenda. I'd like to propose that the council, the report on the agenda is noted. Oh, sorry, moving along. Okay, I'll get back onto the right one. So the amendment is to add the following words to the proposal on the report from the officer. which is that the town clerk will consult not just with the estates manager and the projects officer, but the mayor and chair of FS&M. The guarantee is sought from the supplier regarding the satisfactory operation of the air source heat pumps, e.g. cost per kilowatt hour and temperature achievable. Agreement with the Bowls Club is sought, including profit sharing from the gains of the air source heat pumps. And that the Bowls Club, if the agreement is not achievable, we just do the nursery. And lastly, that we aim to start a project to install solar panels to be added to our future plans for the building, which is the Life In Pavilion. Yeah, so
Okay, so anyone else? Councillor Austin, are you
No.
proposing?
No, sorry, proposing it.
Oh, sorry, okay. Councillor
no,
Fox.
you propose.
Okay, sorry, Ian's proposed,
I'm second.
you're seconding. You want to say something on that, sorry.
I was just gonna ask why we need an element of profit share. Is that simply in case we generate too much, or are we gonna look at reducing the lease?
So the idea is that whilst the council would put in the capital funds in order to enable the projects, the main benefit would be seen by the tenants of the building through being able to heat and cool their premises more economically. Therefore, the idea would be that the council would recoup its investments through arrangements with the tenants for them to basically pay back a proportion of the savings that they would see. We'll be talking about the provisions for the nursery lease later on in the agenda in the confidential session. With the Bowls Club, it's really a case of kind of how we work that. It is deliberately vague at the moment because we
Sounds complicated.
we still need to work it out.
You know, that's all I've got.
But it's fine.
Does anyone else want to speak on this at all before we go to the vote?
Perhaps I can just add one point to that, which
Sure.
the press profits is isn't the wrong word. What the scheme does is it replaces an old form of storage heating, which is very inefficient and a long way past its best, with a much more efficient form of heating. It saves all the money, it reduces the carbon dioxide, and everyone's going to gain from this scheme. And the idea is that the financial gains are shared by the tenants and town council. And in fact, the gains, although there is some uncertainty about them, the current plan in the document shows that we hope within 10 years to recoup the investment that we put in installing the air source heat pump. So in the end, it's actually going to make us.
Very much. I think Councillor, no, you're right, Councillor.
Yeah, just a quick comment that I'm really happy with the addition of the solar panels to this recommendation. We're going to go ahead with the heat source pump to get it done, but we should seek planning permission in the near term to actually put solar panels on the Life In Pavilion. And then that is a perfect situation because the solar panels generate the electricity that actually work the heat pumps. So it's good from that point of view. So therefore, it's clearly helping our climate emergency, and it clearly is helping to reduce our carbon footprint. So it's a real tangible thing that we're doing here. So
Right.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so those who have a second, all in favour? Okay, now comes for me to ask you all to leave the room, I'm afraid. To consider that the public and press are excluded from the remainder of the meeting in accordance with the Public Bodies Admission Commissions Act 1960, as publicity pre-judicial, that's that, to the public interest by reason of confidential nature of the business. Thank you for hands in the air. David.